Uh, Up to here, I mean, up to defining default controller, that's what we seen yesterday. Now we have to see about remapping the method calls. What is the meaning of remapping method calls, right? Right, we know that the second segment of the URL. So for example, if your URL is look like this, http:// localhost slash news slash, what do we have to pass here? We have to pass controller here. We know that we have to pass the method here. What is the second segment here? The method, right? If the method not available sometimes, so you open your controller, one of the controller you created yesterday, right? So let me open the controller. What is the controller I created? Test controller. Go to controllers folder. This is the controller I created. What are the methods available? Index method, welcome method, and greeting method, and edit method. These are the four methods we have. What I am trying to look here, I'm coming localhost news test is my controller slash I'm writing a method called hi method. Is there any method called hi in your thing? There is no method hi. There is an index method, welcome method, greeting method, edit method, but there is no method called hi method or add method, whatever it may be. Add emp. Okay, I'm taking a method called add emp. Hit enter. It is giving you 404 page not found. So because that method is not available, that's why you are getting it is having a page not found. I mean, what I want to say, in a controller, we may have a number of methods. So how many methods are there right now? We have 4 methods. As like you can create a number of methods inside of it, no problem. When we are requesting for a method from a controller, if that is not exists, it is getting you page not found. I mean, what I want to say, each and every method of a controller will act as a one page, guys. Index method is one page, welcome method is one page, greeting method is one page. Page means in a website, generally we have about page, contact page, services page, products page, login page. Like this, we have a lot of pages are there now. Like this, in the same manner, each and every method of our class is a act as a method. That's why in test controller, I am looking for a method add emp. That is not there. That's why it is giving you page not found. It is saying the page not found. Whatever the page you are requesting, I mean, that is not found. It is giving the error something like this. When we are trying to request a method which is not available in our controller class, then remapping method calls will help you a lot, guys. We can call it a default method. As noted above, the second segment of the URI typically determines which method controller gets called. CodeIgniter permits you to override the behavior of the use of remapping method. So whatever the method you have here, so by using this second segment, we can override the behavior. I am looking for add emp. If add emp is not available, what I need to do? I have to redirect to some other method, na? Right? So this is how we can work with this remapping method calls, guys. Here, they given some example also. Whatever the method you are having, can you see this method directly? We can write inside of it, guys. See, if the method, whatever the method you are calling, so that won't go, guys. If you can write the remap method call, it will get called first. Can you see? I'm writing this method public function. 1 minute, let me show you. Here we have 4 methods and we know how to call these 4 methods. We've seen already in the early sessions, right? So index method, welcome method, greeting, and edit method. So by default, index method gets called automatically if you're not mentioning the second segment in the URL. That's we already know, right? What I'm saying you, if the second segment is not there, so here we have second segment, that is method. Here second segment is not. What is the first segment? This is our class name. What is our class name? Tester. If you are not mentioning the second segment here, this is second second segment. If you are not mentioning here, by default it will call the index method. That's we know. That's why we kept the index method. First it will look into the index method. If index method is not there, then it is showing the page not found. If the second segment is not available, remember in URL the second segment is not available, first it will look for index method. If index method is there, that gets called automatically. If index method is not there in our class, it show you page not found in the same manner, guys, right? So anyhow, now let us see the behavior of the remap method, guys. Okay, let us go to this class. Let me add the method public function underscore remap. It's a predefined method, actually predefined method of the framework. So it is a predefined method of framework. So to this, definitely we have to pass a parameter. I'm passing a parameter $method. Method. I'm passing the parameter as method. You can take any parameter here. So you can take XYZ also, you can take action also, whatever it may be, you can take. Can you see? I'm going to print this $action. Whatever it may be, you can take any variable there. Now I'm refreshing the page, guys. Can you see? I'm refreshing. Where it is going, guys? Earlier, it is giving object not found, right? So addEmp is not there. Did you see addEmp is not there, right? So now it is going to remap method calls. It is looking for a method called remapping. Now, can you see? I'm going to write XYZ. Test of XYZ is there? No, there is no XYZ. It is considering this as a method and it is taking you here back. Remapping method calls. If the method not available, so definitely we have to show a user-friendly message. Object not found, page not found, please try again later. Something we have to display, right? So this type of calls we can handle inside of this guys. Here, if you want, you can redirect also. For example, you are calling welcome method. So welcome method or you are calling greeting method. Can you see whatever the method you are calling, greeting I call. But actually you have to get a greeting message, something like you are getting, right? You are getting something called greeting method only. What is the logic you written here? So greeting for you. This is the message you written. But where are you going every time? You are going to this particular page, guys. This is what happens. So the remapping method, whatever the method you have in our class, if you can use the remap method, first it will enter into the remap, guys. Whatever the method you are calling, greeting method, what you want to do with the greeting, if I call greeting method, I want to do something like this, right? So how we can call them? So this is what exactly the remap method. Can you see this soft method they are calling? Otherwise they are calling the default method. So what is there saying? Can you see here? What I want to do in my remap method? Can you see? Let me write a small logic, guys, here. If $method or action, sorry, $action equal to greeting, greeting, greeting. So then what I need to do, guys, I have to call the greeting method now. You have to call the greeting method. This of how can we call greeting method inside the remap method? This of greeting. This we seen already. Do you remember? So in the basics of object oriented, how can we call one member of a class into another member? This is the greeting member I have to call here, right? Anyhow, so else if, so we have to write multiple conditions when we are having multiple methods, right? So here I have one more method, guys, index method, right? So here $action equal to index. If it is an index method, then we have to go for index method, right? So this of index method, we have to call something like this. If no one is there, I mean no method is matched, then we have to go for else block. No? In the else block, we have to write a default method. What is the default method? You know, you can write any of the thing here. default, method, default method, right? So what is this default method? Maybe 404, something you can write, but this default method you have to define here also. So this is how the remap method will do, guys. So now I am creating this function default method. So this we will see later programmatically, practically. Just I'm in the demo sessions, right? So don't worry about it, right? This is the very basic we are saying. Later I will tell you. The only thing, guys, here, sorry, not able to process. Simply I'm writing a message. I mean, you are writing greeting method, right? Can you see? You are getting greetings for you. The message is proper. So whatever the message we are getting, it is proper. Now you are removing this. If you are removing this, what happens, guys? This is index method. That is index method gets calling automatically. Now I'm going to add something I added. Let me hit. Sorry, not able to process. Why? Because this type of method is not available in my controller, right? If this method is, for example, I'm writing here by something like I written. If this method is available, this is not available. That's why we are showing you something, guys. Sorry, not able to process because this is not available. This is not exist. Something like we can display, guys, right? We can display a message also. What is a message here? $action you can pass here. If you can pass $action, we can display that message. Whatever the method you are writing, that is not available. Right? We can pass some message to that particular method also, that we will see later. Don't worry right now. So what is this remap method will do? If you see, we have a lot of methods are there now. Can you see? Index method, welcome method, greeting method, as well as ID and default method. We have these many methods. These methods will never call directly. When we are calling control, first it will go for remap method. Remap method will define what to do, what to load, when to load, how to load and all. If this method is there, if this method is not there, then we have to call each and every method manually, right? So see the manual also once again. So as noted above, the second segment of the URI typically determines which method in the controller gets called, okay? CodeIgniter permits you to override this behavior. So whatever the behavior, To override this behavior, we can use the remap method. What greetings method will do, what edit method will do, what other methods will do, we can override the behavior of those methods by using remap method. So first it is getting called remap method. After that, we can, based on the method you are calling, which method you are calling, that is the second segment. The second segment will automatically go to this as a parameter, guys. Which method you call, the second segment will be the parameter here. So based on the parameter, I written some condition. If action equal to greeting method, load the greeting method. If action equal to index method, load the index method. If action equal to some other method, load the some other method. If no one is matched, then what I'm doing here, simply I'm going for index method. Sorry, default method, something. So where we can display some message. You are doing some wrong process, you are doing some wrong request, such a kind of messages we can display here. This is all about the remap method calls. Guys, this remap method you may use in real time or you can skip it also, no problem at all. So for real time application development, I use it very rarely about this remap method. Seriously. So that is not a problem. Just you have to have a knowledge of a remap method, what remap method will do, right? So if you can write the remap method, first it will get called when the second segment presents. The second segment is the remap method will get called automatically. So by calling the remap method, we can do some action. So we can check which method you are calling. If that method is exists, we can call that method. If the method is not exists, we are calling a default method. So whatever the, see, only thing is, sometimes when we are calling the URLs, there may be a chance you may call a method which is not exist in our class. Which is not exist in our class. If we are calling that method, what I have to display? Can I display error message on the screen? No, this is not good thing, right? We have to display a user-friendly message at least to the end user. Definitely, in this type of situation, we can go for remapping method calls, guys. If the method exists, we can do something. If the method not exists in our class, then we have to do it, guys. This is what exactly we can do. A good thing always, right? Good practice to do a kind of stuff, right? So other thing is there, and if we can bit move down, we have some other important, your controller contains method remap. It will always get called regardless of whatever the URI content. Did you see whatever the point they are saying here? Very nice point they said. Whatever the second segment you may have in the URL, second segment may be anything. We know that second segment is the method of the class. The second segment may be anything, whatever the segment may be in the URL, irrespective of it, regardless of it, this method remap method will get called automatically. This is the point they are saying, that it overrides the normal behavior in which the URI determines the method is called. Something like this, guys, right? So this is how the remap method will get called, right? So remap method also we can use, but I didn't use anywhere actually, guys. In my application, very rarely I use it, right? Here they written a very good thing also, process method. Can you see parameters to this array? We can process somehow like this also, guys. Call user function array, something like show 404 error. If that is not exist, they are showing some message called show 404 error. Processing output and all. So this we will talk about output class later, guys. Don't worry. And what is the method we have? Output method. So these we are going to discuss later because we have to know about the output library. Then we can discuss about this private method. If the method is private, no one can access, right? Private methods maybe go with underscore utility, something like this, private function underscore utility. What is underscore utility method will do? In some cases, you may want to certain methods hidden from public access. Definitely. We don't want to allow every logic for the people, right? Some of the methods, see, in every method, for example, how many methods are there in your class? We have index method, welcome method, greeting method, edit method, default method. These are the methods. Each and every method will be called like this now. We know that each and every method will get called something like this method name, right? Test of greeting, right? This is test of greeting, and test of edit, right? Something like every method we can call now. Test of index, we can call something like this. I don't want to allow you to call some of my class methods. Then we can get the method as something like this underscore the method name, guys. Whatever the method name you want, but make the method name as private. They are saying that private methods cannot be accessed everywhere. Can we see? Now you can go and create a private method. Now just I'm going to create one method, private function, fun, private function, my fun, something like I created. Private means no one can access. No, here I'm writing hello, this is my fun. This is the method, my fun method. I written something like this. Can you go and call this method myFun? Go to the URL. I'm going to the URL. After test, I'm calling the method called myFun. Execute this. It is giving you sorry unable to process. Or else I need to mention capital FUN. FUN I mentioned. Can you see? Is it getting anything, guys? Because of it's a private method. FUN fun. I written something like this. So because it's a private, can you make this as a public method? So anyhow, we written remap method, right? 1 minute. Let me comment this remap method first of all. So maybe this remap method is overriding because we didn't write anything in this, right? So let me go and check this and refresh the page, guys. So if you can refresh, my fun will be right. Can you see? It is showing that page not found. My fun is there, but it is showing that page not found. Something error is there. My fun. I written something like this. Still you are getting. If you are making the method as underscore fun, they said utility methods can call like this underscore fun. I'm going to call the method like this underscore fun, guys. Can you see? I'm going to call the method underscore fun. Still you are getting the same problem. But here the people are creating the method with underscore utility the same way I did, guys. Here when I'm calling this, are you getting anything? No, you are not getting anything, guys. If you are calling the URL like this, you are not getting anything, right? So what is the meaning of prefixing method names with an underscore will also prevent them from being called? Okay, you no need to call the method. See, with a private I call, right? So 1 minute, let me make the method as public, guys, here. So this method is public now. Public public method. There is no underscore. Public methods can call automatically, right? So now you can refresh the page. Now you think you will get the output. Sorry, you are not getting output. Let me remove this underscore and you can call this. You are getting a hello, this is my fun method. Let me go and check this. This is underscore my fun. I'm making the method as underscore my fun. Let me check will it call or not. Underscore my fun I'm calling. The way same way I'm calling. This is not calling. Here, did you understand? The method may be public, but what is there? They're saying that in CodeIgniter, if you are creating any method with underscore, starts with underscore, that method will never call. That method will act as a private method to the class. So that private method we cannot access anywhere. So outside it is not possible, but inside we can access. This myFun method, if you want to call into greeting, for example, how can I call this method in the greeting, guys? Here, simply you can come down this of what is the method name underscore myFun is the method, right? This is how we can call the method. Now if you can call the greeting method, so this will be called, guys. Can you go and check this now? I'm just going to call the greeting method. Can you see? If you can call the greeting method, can you see? Hello, this is my function, right? And sorry, hello, this is my fun function and greetings for you. Both are calling, right? Remember, if a function is declared as private, we cannot access outside of a class. But how can we access outside? But indirectly we are accessing. So can we call the private function directly? We cannot call it, guys. Indirectly, I'm calling to another function. If the function is another, we can go. What is the meaning they are saying? Simply this point. If you are creating a function with underscore, whatever it may be, whatever the function you are creating with underscore, that will be equivalent to private function. We cannot access the private functions in the URL. We cannot mention. See, here we have some methods, guys. What are the methods we are having? Index method, welcome method, greeting method. They are not private. That's why we are easily able to add them into the URL. So I'm adding the greeting method here because this is a public method. We can add. If this greeting method is private, even though you can mention the URL, that won't get called, guys. Right? So some of the methods of our class, we don't want to allow them to call. If you don't want to allow them to call, definitely what we need to do, guys, we have to restrict the method accessing by using private access specifier or simply define the method by starting with underscore. Some of the methods of our class, I don't want to allow anybody to access those methods. Then you have to make a method with underscore utility, underscore simply. Method name may be anything, underscore, or you can create a function as private function. So if the function is private, no one can access from the URL. Or if the function name starts with underscore and no one accesses the function, this, guys. This is how the things. So this is all about, guys, organizing your control and subdirectories. Don't worry, this we will see later in the sessions. So when I'm discussing about admin panel, then I will talk about this, guys. Okay, right. So this is all about the thing. And one more thing, guys, I want to suggest you go to the manual. In the manual, what you need to do, you have to check the reserved words. Some of the predefined keywords are there. Those predefined keywords we are not going to use in our application development. So reserved names, can you go and check these reserved keywords? Reserved means predefined of CodeIgniter by. So controller names, remember the name of your whatever the controller you guys are creating, remember guys, they're saying that don't create a controller with a name like this, and don't create a controller with the name default, and don't create a controller with index. Your controller name should not be these three, and you can create any name of the controller. So we seen right just now controller creation, and we follow some rules and regulations. And some of the functions, guys, can you see the list of available function? So these are all the predefined functions. You cannot create a function with these names. So check this, be careful while we are working with frameworks. So whatever the functions we are having here, these are all the predefined function by the framework. So when you are creating a function in your controller, don't use these names. So you can use some other functions except these, okay? Right, set status header, get mimes, HTTP, HTML escape, remove invisible characters, is HTTPS, variables, some of the predefined variables, config, and don't use variables config and db and language. These are the predefined variables in our CodeIgniter. Some of the constants, environment, FC path, self, base path, app path, view path, CI version. If you want to know these constants, guys, if you want to know, just copy this constant and print into any of the method. For example, you can go to index method. This is index method now. You can print this, guys, so that you will understand. Echo environment. Just print this and just call the index method. We can understand what is that constant. Can you see? Environment is development environment. I'm using the development environment. If you want to know other constants, we have a lot of constants are there now. You can check one by one constant and paste this to any of the methods. Can you see FC path? I think this will give you the system path, I believe. So go to the file and execute it, guys. FC path, the self, a lot of constants are there. So you can check any of the constant. Now you can see, now I'm going with the one more constant called FC path. Now can you see? I think this, it will give you the system path. Refresh the page. I think you are getting the, oh, FC path means not system path. Directly you are getting your project path. So I think it is give you system application, news project slash system, I think, but it is giving you up to here only. You can see the other reservoirs, base path, app path, view path. View path means use folder, guys. Application folder path, this is going to give you. And like this, we can check each and every constant. These constants also we will use in the middle of our application development. So please check each and every constant. Just you can write app path, predefined constant, application up to application folder. If you can write view path up to view folder, so application slash views will be get it there, guys. This is going to be view path now. So this is going to be view path echo. You can write this as a simply view path. Refresh the page now. You can see the application views, and you can see the CI version. What is the current version we are using? Right, icon, UTF-8 enabled or not, file read mode, file write mode. They are available or not. They are going to be checked. DIR read mode and everything. F open read. So a lot of things, exit success, exit error, exit config, right? A lot of things are there. These are all the predefined constant, predefined methods, and predefined variables. While you are creating a class, while you are declaring variables, while you are declaring methods inside a class, you cannot use these predefined things, guys. These are all the reserved words by the framework. So whatever the, even if you can use them, it may show you an error. But sometimes you may not get error in local server, but definitely live server may throw you an error. So, but then if it is the case, it will be hard work for us. Again, we have to rewrite the code entire thing. Wherever you use it, that method, we have to rewrite and we have to change it. So be careful when we are using, anyhow, it will show you an error if you are using a predefined method. So for example, show 404, this is the method we have. Can I create this method in my controller? Let us go public function show 404. This is the function I'm going to create. Let me check it. Will it work? Echo error. Simply I'm writing this method, but it may show you or not. But later in the session, definitely let me go there. Show 404. I think it is going to call, but that's not a good thing. So it is calling, guys. Whatever the predefined method we have, that method is getting called here. So we define that method. Already this method was defined somewhere in our framework, but they are saying that simply for avoid the collisions, naming convention, naming collisions, please try to avoid using the predefined words. You can use some other, no problem at all, right? Anyhow, this method is getting called. Okay, that's not a problem. But to avoid the naming convention, to avoid the name collisions, sometimes you may need to call show 404 method in your controller multiple places. Then if you are defining the method here, then this method will call, not the predefined method, right? So you have to remember, check this carefully. Anyhow, guys, let us show you show underscore 404. This will call automatically. So there is no method in our class, right? But this will call automatically. If I call index method, that method will get called automatically. Can you see? This is the show 404 template. This is the code available inside of it, guys. It is calling. Index method is calling. Index method we call 404. Now this code is available in the following method. If you can remove this, you can't see anything now. Can you see? Right. This is what exactly 404. Right, guys. Finally, I want to tell you one thing. Please try to concentrate on controllers. That is yesterday's video and today's. Today's may be somewhat important. I'm not saying you that much, but yesterday's session is too much important, guys. In today's session, remapping method calls and restricting the methods from the controller. If anybody try to access a method from our controller, you want to restrict that method. So you have to use private access specifier, or you have to define the method with a underscore. If you can define the method with underscore or private, no one can access that method from our URLs. This is what the today's major session, guys, right? So in tomorrow's session, I want to discuss about the next concept called views. As per the manual, if you can check this, so we have a concept called views. How a view will be created, how a view will be called. Very important thing, guys. How can we pass data to views? This we will see in tomorrow. Right? I'm stopping the session today up to here. That's enough, I think. Right, so tomorrow we can discuss about the views. They are very, very important. How can we call a view? Understand, guys? How can we call a view? And can I call a view directly to the browser? I want to display something in the view directly. I have to display an HTML template. I will create an HTML template. Can I call this HTML template directly in the browser? No, you cannot call it. You know MVC diagram, right? So I have to explain you the MVC architecture diagram once again. Once after that, then we will come to the views, guys. First, we have to know the MVC flow. Based on that MVC flow, I will explain you how the things will be happen. So this is what we have to check, guys. Remember carefully. This will help you a lot. So what is my request here today? Whatever the concepts we discussed as of now, these concepts you have to practice, right? Controller, and try with the different scenarios. I am requesting you everybody, try to read the manual as well. No problem. If you can read the manual, you will get more subject. Seriously, manual will help you a lot for getting right the things cool, right? So try to see the manual, go to the manual, go to general topics. We see CodeIgniter URLs, controllers, resource names we see, and tomorrow we are going to see the views and everything up to libraries and creating custom libraries. Up to here we have to check each and everything. Up to here we can enter into the framework, guys. Drivers, creating drivers, that we will see later, not right now. So when we are working with the databases, then we will go for drivers, creating drivers, using drivers, that we will see later, guys. Don't worry about it, right? Creating core system classes, right? Hooks, what is a hooks and all, that we will see later slowly. All the concepts will be seen later, guys. URI handling, error handling. Error handling, we have to check it. Okay, error handling also we have to check it. But all the things are not required at a time. But up to these libraries, creating libraries up to here, very, very important. All the concepts up to libraries are very, very important. I told you, 10 classes are important. Up to here, we will discuss. So these 10 classes are very, very important. After that, you will get some clarity. So when I'm discussing about the models, we will show you how to connect to database also. This is the models, the next section. Once views completed, then we have to go for models, guys. So tomorrow, maximum, we have to complete the views completely. We have to done it. We have to complete the views and how to create a views and how to manage the views and all. We have to do it by tomorrow, right? Yes, guys. Any doubts, guys? Let me know, please. I'm stopping. I don't want to start the views. Views I have to start separately in a separate video.